today?
Good.
Good. So today we're going to thumbs up, everyone. Let's see. Oh, some of you know exactly what it is. I'm not going to talk about hand analysis today because several of you have heard me talk about that before, but I will tell you what I do. So about 3 years ago, April 1st will be my 3-year anniversary. My life significantly changed, and today I'm going to talk to you about the life-saving power of having a purpose, and to really, not just having it in the back of your head, but having it anchored into your core. So I'll start by telling you what I do. What I do today, my old life was I was strictly a social media coach and trainer, and taught people how to run Facebook ads and how to play the algorithms and all that nice, fun, technical stuff, tell you how to build a website and all those types of things. And I had this yearning. Anybody ever have this thing like, I'm doing this, but I'm supposed to be doing bigger and better? Well, maybe you ever had the nudge, but you didn't take the nudge?
Yes.
Okay. Today's story is a cautionary tale of taking the nudge before the nudge nudges you a little too far off the edge. So I had this nudge before April 1st, 2014. And the nudge was, I'm supposed to be doing more with my life than teaching people technical stuff. I had this knowing that I was supposed to be taking the spiritual lessons that God had taught me over the entire course of my life, and I was supposed to be doing something with them, but I was like, God, later. God, I'll deal with that later. Later, I've got to make more money. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And on the fateful night of April 1st, 2014, I was headed from a coaching retreat, and I had my 4-month-old son, not this one, with me in the car, and was in the back seat, and I was half asleep, and all of a sudden the car comes to a screeching halt. My friend is driving. I look in the rearview mirror, and a tractor trailer swerves and misses us. We were the unfortunate incident of being in the fast lane on, imagine being on 24, going 75 miles an hour. And the person in front of you slows all the way down to 0. And you look in your rearview mirror and there's a tractor trailer coming at you full speed. This was April 1st, 2014. And I said, thank God, because the tractor trailer swerved. And then came the next moment of my life. The teenage girl that was following the tractor trailer was texting, didn't happen to notice that me and my 4-month-old baby and my friend were directly in front of her. As it would later find out, I would have an out-of-body experience. I would come back in, I would have people holding my hand while they shut down the interstate and allowed the helicopter to come land. And I'd take my inaugural helicopter ride after the jaws of life pulled me out of the vehicle. Before that magical moment of hearing the jaws of life, which I hope you never have to hear that sound, I had people saying, talk to us. Stay away from the light. Has anyone in here ever had a near-death experience? The light is there, let me tell you. The light was there. And in that moment, at 40 years old, 39, with a 4-month-old baby in the seat next to me, which actually he was then in the seat in front of me, and thank God he is still alive, and he's smart as a whip today. Just he made it. He took a separate ride from me. But in that moment, everything that you put off gets crystallized. The life-saving purpose that I had, which became my sole focal point for getting out of that car and knowing that my life wasn't ending in that night, in that moment, was because of the work I had done before I got to that moment. See, I had started to work on what is my life purpose about 4 years before that. Now, you might say, well, I have a dream of doing something. And that's one thing. To have a dream, to have one day I want to retire and I want to do this. But luckily, I had had people mentor me on distilling what is it that you are here to do. And before that, I had come up with the understanding that from the fact that I had been raised and lived in incessant child abuse until the age of 19, from 9 to 19, that I had a number of cataclysmic events happen in my life prior to that my purpose was to help transform the cycles of generational poverty and abuse. And so it's back to April 1st, 2014. I see white light. I see these blue marquees. That's the only way I can describe it. I had complete and utter peace. At one point, everything faded to different shades of gray and black. There were some strangers holding my hand. There was the kind of in the background, the flashing lights of the ambulances. I don't know who these people are. I remember taking my 4-month-old baby, and I didn't know he had bilateral skull fractures and a hematoma, but I had held him up to a total stranger, and I said, "Save my baby." And after that, I wasn't worried if someone would have my eulogy. I wasn't worried if my family would miss me. I said, I haven't done what God called me here to do. I'm not dying in this car. I'm not leaving this planet tonight. And when I get done and out of this situation, because I don't know how it's going to end for me, I know that I am number one committed to 2 things, actually 2 major commitments. Now it was still doing my purpose. It was also raising my voice to help other people understand that if you're not clear on your purpose, anchor into it, find it, and know that it might be the thing that at a moment when you feel like you cannot go on, that when the world has brought you to your knees and you feel like there is no more strength, that your purpose will carry you forward beyond the moment of unimaginable challenge. And understand that what you've been called here to do, only you can do. No one else is you. No one else has walked your shoes. And on that day, I realized that I wasn't worried who would show up at my funeral. I was not worried if I would walk again. I was worried I hadn't left my mark. And so I am blessed that that is what I am here to do today. And what I actually do today is that what would happen is that after I said, well, I've been an entrepreneur for 18 years. I've been working really hard. I've said I'm too busy. I've said I don't have time. I rearranged things and I said, God, show me a path to help me facilitate the transformation of other people's lives so that they can take their money and their purpose and put it together. Because there's really no reason that you cannot make money and be walking your purpose. And oftentimes there's this sort of disconnect that's happened in our society that says, oh, well, one day when I get rich, and one day when everything is perfect and all the stars align, well, one day I'll do what I'm here to do. So what I do today is I use a couple of proprietary processes and my intuition, and I help people to line those things up. I use that through scientific hand analysis, which is a process which I've spoke at other events. And there's some other things that I do as well. I take those years of business experience and I bring them together so that you row all of your life in the same boat. Because many of us are trying to, we got 2 boats. We got one canoe that's our life and one canoe that's our business. And for some of us, we don't even have our faith or our spiritual connection, and it really doesn't matter how you've particularly lined up with your faith. In my eyes, it's more about having rock solid, unshakable faith and finding it and not letting someone else dictate to you what that is. Because I wouldn't have made it off that freeway that day if I would have been listening and waiting for anyone else other than my connection to know that I would always be okay. And when I was in the hospital, about 3 or 4 weeks in, when you're in the hospital for 3 months, you just kind of move in. You know everybody's schedule. So the guy sat me down and he goes, well, I'm assessing you for post-traumatic stress disorder. He goes, but you don't have any, and I don't understand this. And I said, I don't know, why would I? And he goes, do you know the kinds of things we see on these hospital floors? And I said, I don't, but I know that what more positive thing is to be able to take whatever seems like the biggest challenge that's ever come your way and know that that's actually the place to start looking. If you're not clear on purpose, look at where your biggest hurdles have been. Because oftentimes it's in finding the way to overcome and to transform circumstances that seem insurmountable. That part of where your purpose lies. So if you're a little curious, like, well, I don't know, I'm going to hire Megha, I don't know that I need to do all that. If you're not clear, start writing a journal of everywhere in your life where you thought you hit the 20-foot brick wall. And likely, that's a hint for where purpose is for you. So, that's my message. How am I on time? Good?
Good.
Perfect.